It should be acknowledged that there is a problem that needs to be addressed here. We just want to make sure that it's done in a prudent way that's more surgical so we can limit unintended consequences.
Wait a second. Unintended consequences? Are you kidding me? Drive through Toledo, Akron, or the rest of the Rust Belt. You'll see ghost towns. You'll see a lot of people who believe that, guess what? The government abandoned them. American manufacturing gutted. People who feel hopeless. And you bet there are a lot of people addicted to opioids. They didn't feel like they had much option, did they? No matter the fallout, the establishment will always lean toward unfettered, unchecked global trade. White House economic advisor Gary Cohn, he tried to convince the president to drop his tariff idea and to back down.
I like conflict. I like having two people with different points of view, and I certainly have that. And then I make a decision. But I like watching it, I like seeing it, and I think it's the best way to go. I like different points of view.
So they battled it out in the Oval Office. Gary Cohn argued one point, no tariffs. And other people, Bob Lighthizer, Wilbur Ross, they went for the economic nationalist point of view. So Gary Cohn's worldview, that lost out. The populist vision that won Donald Trump the election won the day. Now, this may have been brewing for a long time with Gary Cohn, and let's face it, working in the White House, getting hammered in the media for your every move, it takes its toll. It's not easy. But from an outsider's perspective, it certainly looks like Gary Cohn, picked up his marbles and went back to Goldman Sachs. Well, we cannot stand by idly while China floods our country with cheap steel and dominates the global market. Think about it this way. In 2000, that was before they became a member of the World Trade Organization, China accounted for 15% of global steelmaking capacity. By 2016, China had almost quintupled its share to nearly 49%. Does anyone think for a minute, any of the experts think about where China will be by 2025 in steelmaking? Consider the national security implications of that. You think that they're going to make our tanks and destroyers in a global conflict for us? The troubling thing is that when the establishment is wrong, as they have been on China, on tax cuts, the illegal invasion of our country, they still lack the humility to admit they were wrong. National Journal reporting today that former President George W. Bush compared his administration to the Trump administration. Bush said, "Sort of makes me look pretty good, doesn't it?" Well, actually it doesn't. Unless endless wars, a financial crisis, unchecked immigration, and leaving office with a 28% approval rating is pretty good. And by the way, George W. Bush, God bless him, love him, great guy, he didn't vote for Donald Trump. So I frankly don't care what he has to say about Donald Trump at this point in time. For 8 years, George W. Bush, the establishment of the GOP, was mute during the tyranny of the Obama administration, and now, like Old Faithful, he spouts off at every opportunity to bash President Trump, either off the record or on the record. Resistance is not part of the solution, and repeating the failed policies of the past is getting us nowhere. So my message to the establishment of both parties: we've tried your expert ways for decades. It led to the rise of communist China, which is now poised, if we don't turn things around, to be the dominant economic and military power in the world. Now, President Trump, sometimes it feels like it's doing it all by himself, is trying to confront that threat and turn it around before it's too late. The globalist critics out there don't seem to care about what the freedom of the American people, whether it'll be jeopardized, our ability to chart our own destiny, our own course, the way that Donald Trump frankly sees it. The 2016 election results in those battleground states showed that the heartland was not ready to cede its freedom to the gods of globalism. Those people empowered the president to protect their liberty and restore their economic independence. And that's what he's doing. The experts be damned. And that's the angle.